Cause I be sparking and rushing mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that we talk about here on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming you guys are all caught up with the latest Boruto manga chapter and you do not care about spoilers, or in this case speculative theories that are based off of stuff that takes place in the manga. So with that being said, diving right into the actual discussion, I want to talk to you guys about Sarada Uchiha and why Kakashi Hatake makes the most sense to train the character going into the time skip. And I think for us to truly appreciate why Kakashi Hatake makes the most sense to train Sarada, I think we need to look at the importance of time skips in general. Now, when you look at the Naruto franchise, we've seen what happens when you get a time skip. So for instance, when you look at the power jump that somebody like Sakura had during the 2.5-year time skip between the end of Naruto Part 1 and the beginning of Naruto Part 2, Sakura got noticeably more powerful during that time, with people like Kakashi even noting how skilled Sakura is. The same thing with Sasuke, where during the Chunin exams, he was stated by Genma to be somebody who has Chunin level skill, and by the time of the 2.5-year time skip, Sasuke's skill level was at a point to where he's easily finessing somebody like Yamato, who's considered to be an elite Jonin. A perfect example using other anime is how somebody like Yamcha, who, if we take the Dragon Ball Z filler, was considered to be relative to the Ginyu Force based on what happens in the Dragon Ball Z anime, where Yamcha is soloing people from the Ginyu Force on King Kai's planet. Yamcha, after 3 years worth of training, had a power level that was high enough that Dr. Gero thought that he was looking at somebody who had a power level that was anticipated to be Son Goku. So I say that to say time skips give you a great opportunity to level these characters up, and I think that Sarada Uchiha training with Kakashi makes the most sense, because you're going to be in a situation where Boruto is likely going to be training with Sasuke unless somebody like Code kills Sasuke off, and then you're also going to be in a situation where Mitsuki is likely going to be under Orochimaru during that time, which means that you only have a few options for people that can train Sarada. So some people such as myself would love it if Naruto took Sarada under his wing, but when you look at it, there's not really a lot that Naruto can actually train Sarada with. Sakura is somebody that people have stated, hey, this would be a good idea because Sakura can work with on chakra control. Maybe she can get advanced enough with chakra control to where she can learn the Byakugo seal. I'm going to do a whole video explaining to you why I hate that idea personally, but I personally think that Kakashi makes the most sense because Sarada is in a very unique situation. So when you look at what's been stated numerous times in the anime, back during the Chunin exams, one of the things that Sarada makes clear is that when it comes to her Sharingan, Sarada has issues with stamina. And later on during the car actuation arc, when Sakura steps in to help Sasuke train Sarada, one of the things that Sakura says is that you're not going to be able to maximize your Sharingan until you're able to get your chakra control and your stamina under control as well. And I think that given that you have that built-in limitation with Sarada to where she has to overcome that, the best person who can help her train in order to maximize that Sharingan is going to be Kakashi, because Sasuke is going to be tied up with training Boruto. Now, Kakashi's somebody who has actually had the Sharingan, and he had a problem that was much worse than Sarada, to where Sarada's body is still half Uchiha. So her body is far more suited to using the Sharingan, but the fact that she has stamina issues means that somebody like Kakashi can step in and say, these are the things that I did in order to overcome my stamina issues, and Kakashi can train her to try and find ways to maximize using her Sharingan for short periods of time to where she's able to efficiently use the Sharingan. Because when you really look at it, because of how intelligent Sarada is and because Sarada has multiple changes in chakra nature, you're in a situation where if Kakashi takes the time to train her, Sarada post time skip could be somebody that's more like Itachi Uchiha, where as Itachi got more and more sick, Itachi did not drag out battles. There's a clear difference between the Itachi that you saw in the Naruto Shippuden filler episodes that were added to the Itachi Shinden light novel adaptations, where Itachi and Shisui were fighting against the Anbu. During that time, Itachi had moments where Itachi could have ended the battles, but he let it stretch out a little bit, which is in character, because in the Itachi Daylight novel, Itachi, instead of taking the scrolls directly through the Forest of Death and getting to the Chunin Tower in time, instead of doing that, Itachi played around with the other teams that were taking the Chunin exams, in some cases just playing around with them to see how strong they were. So we've seen in the past how Itachi would drag things out to a smaller extent. But once he got sick, when you look at what happened when he came back to Konoha, and he fought 3 high-level Jonin in the case of Asuma, Kakashi, Kurenai, Itachi went for the most efficient way to take those characters out. Having Sarada be somebody who enters into battle looking for the fastest way to take down their opponent by using the Sharingan to not only break down their jutsu, but expose the weaknesses in their abilities, and maximize the Sharingan's ability to take advantage of those weaknesses to knock them out very quickly. That's a quick workaround on her stamina issues, and you can also start boosting up her stamina by working on her chakra control alongside Kakashi. And given the fact that Kakashi was able to come up with a training method to help somebody as stupid as Naruto not only learn a change in chakra nature, but also help guide him through the process of adding a wind style chakra nature to the Rasengan, something that not even a genius like Minato could do, the fact remains that if he got his hands on somebody like Sarada, he would definitely be able to help her tap into her latent potential. This opens up the possibility of her learning other jutsu, like say the purple lightning. She's already got the Chidori, but now you're in a situation where she could learn purple lightning, and working with Kakashi, just as Kakashi helped Boruto develop his own variation of the Rasengan, you could have Sarada training under Kakashi to develop her own variation of, say, purple lightning, or her own variation of the Chidori. And I think that that is something that's very important, because we're at a point right now to where this new generation, much like their parents, they've inherited jutsu that has been taught to them by their masters and mentors. But outside of Boruto, we haven't seen some of these members of this new generation start the process of making those jutsu that they were taught their own. Boruto's made 3 different variations of the Rasengan. He's made the Vanishing Rasengan, he's made the Compression Rasengan, and he's also made a Wind Release Rasengan that turns green with color and has those rings floating around it that he can actually hurl. I think now's the time for Sarada to start making her own versions of some of the jutsu that Sasuke taught her, i.e. the Chidori, or if Kakashi teaches her purple lightning, it's time for her to take those jutsu and make her own variations of it as well. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts on this matter? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.